Hey guys, it's Dustin with TechMD. I've been going video crazy lately, mainly because it is like 2 feet of frickin' snow outside and no one wants to come in and repair their phone. So yeah, today we're going to be repairing an iPad Air. I've noticed that I never did an iPad Air video, or I did one but I never uploaded or something, I don't know. So we're going to actually do one. I absolutely hate doing the iPad Air. I'd much rather be doing anything but repairing an iPad Air. So right now it's actually warming up on my hot plate. I let it warm up for about 5 minutes and it makes it really easy to remove at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so now that it's all warmed up, we're going to go ahead and start working on it. We have to get our hot glove, found at Walmart or whatnot. But before we get started, actually, I wanted to show you something important. So if you buy one with a home button, which I recommend doing, okay, and make sure it clicks well and doesn't actually fall through. Make sure your screen is not cracked or anything like that. Now, if it pushes through, go ahead and push it all the way off, and then just put a very thin coat of Gorilla Glue here and here, and let it dry for 24 hours before using it. You can do this with all your digitizers before starting it. This makes your life a whole lot easier because customers aren't returning it with their buttons falling out. I've had a few issues lately with that. Okay, so this has been turned off and it's nice and toasty now. Our cables are right there. I like to start on the top of the iPad Air. So this is the LTE version, so there will be some cables up top here that we want to try to avoid breaking. Ouch. Just taking my iSesame tool and getting underneath it. See, now we know we're above that cable there. If yours doesn't come off this easy, it means you probably don't have it hot enough. Try not to go in too deep and touch the screen. Let's not get your tool markings all over the LCD. If you can do other iPads, this one's pretty straightforward. There's not much to it. Every once in a while you want to just clean this off from any broken glass. That way you don't scratch the iPad. Got some lifting action finally here. Always recommend using eye protection. I have contacts in, so usually it's pretty good. Or I wear glasses. But yeah, just be careful not to get glass in your eyes. That's what you use to repair these electronics, guys. Okay, you can salvage that home button. Very carefully here. I want to make sure I move this glass fast enough before it cools down. Mine is starting to cool down here. Almost got all the glass cleaned off here. For some reason, if you need to warm up the glass again, just get the screen off and then take a heat gun and warm it up. Okay, now that's all removed. Just clean up the screen a little bit from the glass shards. Just one swipe away from the screen and lightly. That way we're not to scratch it. Okay, Phillips head screwdriver. Keep these organized. You want to put them back in the same spot. Fortunately, it's not like the iPad mini. It's pretty easy to lift this screen up. Remagnetizing my screws here. Okay. Now, something that no one really does that I've seen, take your rag and you're going to clean up the housing. The reason why you do this is so that way you can have your new adhesive stick on the housing real well. That's why a lot of people have lifting, is they don't take the acetone and the microfiber rag and just spend the time cleaning it. If they did that, they wouldn't have issues. I don't think I've ever seen a company, iPad come back from repair and see a company that's done this. Kind of makes logical sense, don't you think, guys? So just spend your time scrubbing. I'm going to pause the video so you don't have to watch. Okay, after all scrubbed clean here, as you can see, the thinnest part here is super clean. Really important. That way your adhesive sticks. So we're going to go ahead and plug in the new screen. Line up the cables and just like Legos, they plug in. Got that one from Jerry Rig Everything. I love watching his videos. Pretty awesome guy. I think he's actually in Logan too, as he told me. He's in Utah. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's pull that piece up and slide this in. Can be a little tricky here to get this in. I'm not exactly sure why it's not going in. What? The slab keeps on going down. There we go. I gotta use some tweezers to get this thing in. Not sure if that's all the way in or not. There we go. Not sure why it's giving me so many issues. Ah, jeez. What pain. Okay. Now for LCD. And our screws. Peel off the adhesive here. All right, let's zoom out. Kind of line this up just like so. Get the screen lined up, your cables lined up, everything ready to go in there. Okay, and then just like put a water bottle or something, alcohol bottle to hold up the screen, and put in your screws. Okay, after you get your screws in, you're going to start lining this up with your tweezers, making sure it's going into the hole better. Make sure it's ready to go in the hole actually, because we have to still take off the plastic. So it looks like it's ready to go. Just have to take off all the plastic here. Just taking off the plastic so we can have some sticky adhesive. Take off the plastic on the inside. Sharp pair of tweezers is always best doing this. Knife could probably scratch it. Line up your corners here. My first two corners are lined up. Now I can pull off the rest of my adhesive here. Okay, great. I can line up all my cables and ready to place them inside. Let's get a little bit more duller tweezers. That way we don't poke the holes in these cables here. Just make sure they go inside the actual unit. Excuse me. There we go. Now this wants to pop up. That's very typical. That's what I like to do. Just because those cables don't need to go in all the way, I like to force it down. Get a little Gorilla Glue. It's good for plastic. Just put a little Gorilla Glue under our problem area. Looks like it sits down flush, which is important. If it's still sitting fat, then the cable's too high. Okay, and then you're going to put one piece of tape right there and then put it under some weight for a couple hours. I like to put it under a case of water. Should always test your screen before installing. This was a pre-tested screen, so I didn't have to do that. Good. Make sure everything sits flush. Everything's working. Alright folks, and that's how you do this repair. iPad Air. Thanks for watching.